Alright, last practice one before you do some on your own here. Okay, we've got a couple of distributive properties here that are in the middle of the question, which is fine. So again, we want to box these off so the symbol is in front of it, and box the entire distributive property off to get it separated here. So this one is just at the beginning here, but we can box this whole thing off just to know that all that goes together in one distributive property problem. This one, I want to make sure that that negative is hooked onto that too. Now I can do distributive property. With this one, I could combine the 2x and the 1x, and I could make 3x. So I'm just going to do that right now. That'll just save us a step there. And you didn't have to do that. You could have just did the distributive property and then put them together, but this kind of saves a step. So now let's do 4y times 3x first. So that's going to be 12xy. Okay. You could have yx, it really doesn't matter, but I think usually when you see it you put them in alphabetical order. And then I've got 4 times, and this is negative 5, or 4y times negative 5 is going to be negative 20y. Okay. The plus 7 can just go right here, is fine. And then we've got to do the other distributive property part, which is negative 2x, and then negative 2 times positive 6 is going to be negative 12. Now I've done my distributive property and I just need to combine together. And to be honest with you, looking at this, there's not a whole lot that we're going to be able to combine together. This won't go with anything because there's nothing else that has xy at the end of it. So I'll just put that down there. Okay. Let's see here. We've got, this is the only y we have, so that would just be negative 20y. I just have one x here, so that would be negative 2x. And then I have 7 minus 12. I can put those together because those are just regular numbers. 7 and then negative 12 is going to be negative 5. And there's my final answer. Nothing else can go together. You could have wrote this in a lot of different ways as long as you've got negative 5 in there somewhere, negative 2x, negative 20y, and positive 12xy. I have included 2 of these for you to try on your own. So why don't you pause this, take a little time, and try these out to make sure you are in good shape. Alright, let's check and see how you did here. Now, you could have done this a couple different ways. I could have combined a few things together, which would have been fine. In fact, I can do that right now just to help out. So if you didn't do it this way, the other way is fine. If you just distribute it out with every single one of these is fine. When you combine them together at the end, you're going to get the same thing. But if I do this 2x and this negative 6x, that's negative 4x. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to erase these. And that's negative 4x. So I'll just put that in there after I combine the x's together. Now we've got all different things here. So I've got 4 times negative 4x, which is negative 16x. I've got 4 times positive 5y, which is positive 20y. I've got 4 times 1z, which is positive 4z. And then I've got 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12. X, Y, Z, regular number. Can't combine any of those things together. So that should be my final answer. And you could have had it in a lot of different orders as long as this is negative 16x, positive 20y, positive 4z, negative 12. And then when I come down to the last one, again, we've got a couple of different distributive property parts here. Here's one right here. Keep the symbol in front of that number. And here's one. Keep the symbol in front of the number. Can't combine anything together in the parentheses, so we're just going to have to distribute it out. Negative 2y times 4 is negative 8y. Negative 2y times negative a, or negative 1a, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So this is going to be positive 2ay. When we put those together, that would be ay. Let's see here. And you could put the y first or the a first. It really doesn't matter. So that replaces this right here. Now we come to this distributive property. 3 times a is going to be 3a, and 3 times negative 1y is negative 3y. Now we bring everything down. I haven't used it. I've got plus 2ay, and I've got my 4a out here. Okay, things that I can combine together here. Looks like I can combine the ay's together. These two things will go together because they both end in ay. So 2 and 2 would be 4. So that's just going to be 4ay. So we got those two combined. Looks like we have some just regular old y's here. Looks like I have negative 8y and I have negative 3y, which is going to be negative 11y. And then it looks like I have positive 4a, positive 3a, which is going to be positive 7a. There's your final answer to that one. And it could be in any order as long as you have 4ay, that's positive, negative 11y, and positive 7a.